somewhere, not too far away from here, there's a young man. He is full of fear, pain, jealousy, and he's disconnected. He gets up in the morning and he does what a lot of us do first thing, checks his phone. Emails, notifications, but no texts, no phone calls. Nobody checks up on him. Nobody misses him. He gets out of bed and puts clothes on. He then gets his jacket. And in his jacket, he puts his wallet, his cell phone, and his gun. He leaves the house and he heads to the drive-thru. It's a normal transaction at the drive-thru. He orders and pays, gets his food, goes and sits in the parking lot and eats his breakfast. He gets on the expressway, but everybody's in such a hurry to get to work that nobody will let him in. He finally has to bully his way in, and the guy behind him slams on the brakes and honks his horn, to which he responds with a one-finger wave. He gets off the expressway and parks about a block away from the grade school. He gets out of the car and starts walking towards the school. He passes several people, but nobody looks at him, much less smiles. One little girl even kind of cowers. He gets to the edge of the school property, pauses, takes a deep breath, and goes for his gun. Somewhere else, not too far away, is a young man who's full of fear, pain, jealousy, and is disconnected. He gets up in the morning and does what a lot of us do, checks his phone. Emails, notifications, and a text message. Haven't seen you in a few days. Hope you're doing okay. Somewhere inside, a small stirring begins. Gets out of bed, puts his clothes on, and grabs his jacket. In his jacket goes his wallet and his phone and his gun. He gets in the car and heads to the drive-thru where the cashier has the biggest smile that he has ever seen. Some guy just paid for your meal. The guy in front of you. Would you like to pay it forward? He has no idea what that's about. Nobody's ever paid for anything for him before. He doesn't pay it forward, but he does take the food and sits in the parking space and eats it. And that small stirring gets a little bit bigger. He gets on the expressway, and people have learned that you can still get to work on time even if you let the guy in front of you in. So he goes to merge, and the guy behind him slows down and waves him in. He responds with a 5-finger wave. Stirring. He gets off the expressway and parks about a block away from the grade school. He gets out of the car and walks towards the school. Several people pass him. Every one of them looks him in the eye and smiles. One little girl even waves. He gets to the edge of the school property, pauses, takes a deep breath, and goes for his gun. At that moment, he hears something. What is that music? He realizes it's his phone. That's his ringtone. Hello? And as he talks, that stirring gets bigger and bigger until it finally reaches his heart. And he turns away and he walks back to his car. Now, the difference in these two scenarios is not the young men. They're the same. The difference is the societies that they live in. The first society is filled with fear, pain, jealousy, and is disconnected. The second society is filled with love. First society is America today. The second is America tomorrow. What we can be and what we will be when we do everything in love. You see, love is the most powerful force there is. Love kicks everything else out. Love casts out fear. Love heals pain. It sees the need and then meets the need. Love sees a value in another human being, which raises self-worth, which raises contentment and dissipates jealousy. And most of all, love connects. Now we look at all of these little actions over here and we think those are no big deal. Those are just common courtesy or being patient or kind. It's not really love. But it is. 1 Corinthians 13, right? Love is patient. Love is kind. Love puts other people first. So when we embrace those small actions that we're already doing, and we just continue to do more of them, eventually we'll be doing everything in love. Because you see, when you do something in love, you feel good. And when something is done to you in love, you feel good. And that spreads. And it builds because we all want to feel good. So let's do everything in love. Let's make that our mission, our mantra. Let's move forward in love because every act of love changes the world. So we can do that together. So let's try it. What do you say? If you want to know a little bit more, you can go to 1 Corinthians 13, or there's a great place in 1 John chapter 4. Or you can just check back here another time, and we'll see what else we've got. Thanks.